What's up, guys? So it's been a while. It has definitely been a while. Yeah, sorry about that. Alright, so here's the deal. Because now everybody's kind of getting back into their, school sort of routines and all that. And that's great. That's really good for people. Because routines are typically, a huge part of people's lives. Because they kind of regulate everything, right? Routines are a huge part of my life, especially, but I kind of take it a little bit further than, some people. But the thing is, there's this huge thing that we're trying to do at school, and it's to help kids like me, and perhaps like you, if you suffer from mental illness, and trying to convince people that it's okay to actually use these programs and kind of, I guess, come out and say I have mental illness. It's really hard because talking to people about it in general is actually really hard. I know for me personally, unless I think the sun shines out of your butt or I am University Friday nighting it, it's very unlikely that I'm going to tell you anything that's that personal. Because for the longest time, I wouldn't even tell my family until I got to a point where my dad was like, okay, we need to do something here, and got that ball rolling. And it sucks because people look at you in an entirely different way, even if they don't mean to. And you know that they don't mean to. Sometimes you have to convince yourself that they don't mean to be looking at you with that face of pure pity, and misunderstanding. But it's like they don't mean it because they don't understand what's going on just as much as you don't. And it sucks that it's hard to admit that you have mental illness because it's that illness that other people seem to think that you can get rid of yourself, or that it's your own fault, or that you just, happiness is a choice. Well, you know what? I'm going to come out and say it. I'm going to say it's not. And I know that's something that's really arguable, that it's controversial for some circles, and the thing is, I want to say that it's not because I cannot promise you from day to day whether I'm going to therapy and I'm taking my medications and everything if I'm going to actually be happy. It doesn't matter if I get up in the morning and I tell myself, you know what, today's going to be a good day. And I use every single coping method I've ever been taught. And I wear yellow because it subconsciously makes you happier. And I smile. I force myself to smile because that sends messages to your brain that makes you believe that you're actually happy. I've done that enough for years to make other people believe that I was happy, even though I knew that I hurt like hell inside. And that's why people seem to think it's a choice, that you can choose to smile. Yes, you can choose to smile, that's perfectly fine. But you cannot necessarily choose to be happy. Because when you're actually happy, that's completely different than looking happy. I'm almost 19 years old, and since I can remember, I've always had that persona about me that I wanted to make sure everybody else thought I was happy so that they wouldn't think I had problems, because I knew in my own world that what I was thinking about on a daily basis, that the feelings that I had and everything, that they were not happy feelings, even though I wanted them to be so badly. And it actually hurts when people are like, happiness is a choice, you can choose to be happy. And I'm like, you know what? The only thing I can choose to do is to take my medication, to go to therapy, to implement those tools that I've been taught to try and make myself feel better. I cannot physically choose to be happy. I can wake up in the morning, I can look in the mirror and say, Danielle, you're going to be happy today. But that's not the case. I can start off maybe feeling that way, and it's not because I stopped telling myself that I should be happy. I tell myself all the time. I have reminders on my phone that come up almost every hour to say, be happy, smile, keep going, keep strong, that kind of crap. And it still doesn't help because there are still really painful moments where it just doesn't go away. And I just, no matter how strongly I'm begging to hold on to that happy feeling, even if I choose to try and hold on to it, sometimes it slips out of my fingers. So people that are trying to come to terms with the fact that they have mental illness, people that are seeing these groups and they're like, you know what, maybe I should really try this. They're having a hard time grasping it because their friends still tell them that, you know what, you can choose to be happy. And that makes them feel a little bit more helpless because they're thinking, maybe it really is me. Maybe it's my fault. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. And they're not. They're not doing anything wrong at all. They're just being made to believe that they are. And I think that's kind of a cruel joke. Because it's really just trying to make people continue to be people pleasers. So that you can look happy for everybody else. So that they don't really have to deal with the fact that you have maybe moderate to severe depression or horrible crippling anxiety or anything like that. Like, I still have friends, though I do appreciate all of my friends. Like, I really do. It's hard for me to hold on to people because I can't. Like, it's just, I don't really have that capability. So when I have friends that stay with me for more than like a year, it just seems like gold, and it's weird. Same time. But I still have those friends that make me feel like crap about myself just because I get it that they want to see me. I get it that they want to spend time with me because I'm their friend, and sometimes I make them feel pretty freaking good about themselves because I can't really make myself feel good about myself. So I'm like, you know what, maybe I might as well try and outsource to other people. See if that works. Sometimes it does. And you know what? That's great. That's great that I can do that for them. But what isn't great is the fact that they make me feel like crap for not being able to do it. Because I understand we haven't seen each other for a long time. And the amount of effort that it takes for me to actually commit to going to see someone it's an insurmountable freaking energy is what it takes. And by the end of the day with school, I just don't have any left. Because I get up in the morning, and as soon as I get up at 5 a.m., I start my routine. When I get to school, it's just from there on, it's just one long anxiety attack, and I'm done at like 1 o'clock, and usually, other than some days, and by the time I make it home, my entire body is sore. Because I've been shaking so bad, because I've been digging my nails into my hands, even though I'm trying not to. I've been looking around like I'm gonna be murdered in class, and I can't stand so many people, and people are just like, well, I just want to see you for like an hour or something. I'm like, I understand it. I do. I understand what you're trying to tell me, but the thing is, you don't understand what I'm trying to tell you, and it's that I'm so damn exhausted. And it's like, it's not that I don't want to hang out with my friends. Like, I really do. I freaking love my friends. But the thing is, I just can't. And it's hard to be able to explain that to people. And that's what these groups are trying to help students be able to do. And be able to accept themselves for who they are and for what their possible mental illnesses are doing to them. Because when you understand a little bit easier, it's a little bit more, you're better able to actually communicate that with other people, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to make things easier for you. But it's hard if you're scared to do that because your friends are still trying to tell you that you can choose to be happy. You can choose to go out and not be scared. You can choose to stop shaking your leg in lecture. You can choose to be perfectly okay with eating in front of people. No. The only thing you can, I'm sorry, it's really dark. The only thing you can choose is to try and make things easier for yourself. That's it. And you can choose to try and make yourself, to remind yourself to be happy. But you cannot physically choose to be happy. You can just hold on with all of your might to the desire to want to be happy. that's it. So I would really appreciate it if anybody that goes to UNB and is maybe waitlisted or just wants to know more, that you really look into the groups that the campus is setting up for you, because we're trying really hard to make things so much better for you guys. And I really want to help you guys. I do so badly, because it sucks so much for me, and I know that if I can maybe make it easier for someone else, that maybe one of these days I'm going to wake up and be like, you know what, I did something good yesterday. So it would be really great if you need that support, that you look into the outlets that we have. So we're here for you, right? So that's our whole thing. So I will see you guys later. I'm gonna go do some homework, because that's what a university student does. Alright, see you later, guys.